Okay. As we discussed today about class and objects in the previous session, and now let's discuss about the data members, different types of data members. Types of data members. So the main classification of data members, in every class we can define two types of data members. Okay. First one is instance or non-static data members. And second one is static data members. Static. Vishnu, if you remember, we used to see always static for variables and methods, right?
Yeah.
Now, now we won't. Now we will only talk about the static data members at variable level, not at method level. At method level, we will talk it because we are trying to talk only about types of data members. So we will talk about the data members, different types of data members, what different types, what we have in it. Okay.
Okay.
So when we say data members, if you see the code, let me show you the code here. If you see here, this is called a data member. Int state underscore tax equal to 200. Okay. This if you define x equal to y or 10 like this, anything. Let me show you much more programs that I wrote today, so you will understand what is data member. Anyway, I will take what to do. See here. Here there is no static, but there are some data members. You see here, but in the earlier example, you see static. So this is called static data member, where you define static data type, variable name, and initialization. And in this case, there is no static, so these are instant data members without using static keyword, and we just write with uh, data type space variable, or you can initialize it or not. It's up to you. Okay. In this case, these are called instant data members. I just told you practically. Now let me define them one after the other and comparing them and make you more clear. Let me create a table. So whenever I define this, you will be learning what is instant data member. Well, I will tell you the difference between them one after the other. In that scenario only, you will learn what is the difference between them. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let me put it. Let me say this as an instant data member. And the other is static data member. I would prefer saying instance as an non-static data members because it's an easiest way to say. Okay, instance data members are also called as non-static data members. So when I start saying instant data member, the main difference of an instant data members. Okay, instant data members are those the memory is being created each and every time when the object is created. So whenever you create an object, okay, and, whenever you create an object, and each and every time when you create an object, the instant data members means the variables will get a memory being created. So when I say int x in a class and int y in the same class, and if I create an object of that class, x would be first time when I create let's say class name as car, and there is a string called car name, and there is an integer called number of wheels. Okay, number of
Okay.
no, normally there will be 4 wheels, right? But we should initialize it. So let me put it in Eclipse so you will understand much better. Today even my system is very slow. Okay, let me place it as a car. Okay. Okay, I won't write public static void main in it. I will just define a class, and in this class, let me say there are a static non-static data members like string name of the car. When you define a car, you should even initialize the name of the car, right? The properties of a car name. Let it be for now nothing. I still didn't decide what name is, but an int number of wheels. Let us say no number of wheel, and this would be normally 4. So I initiated it with 4. Okay, these are my data members. Let us say this is an Ford. Okay, Ford car. Okay, in this case, we say, okay, this is my car where I have two data members. One is name and one is number of wheels. So in our code where we calculated salary, just forget not salary. Let's say start travel. Oh no, what is the example? Employee salary, because we have if we create a object at car for a car, let's say my car is C1 equal to new car of, then what happens, and again if I create one more car called C2 equal to new car, what happens is whenever you create object for first object C1, when you created C1, this name object gets in memory allocated with 4, and no wheels gets allocated with 4. And again when you create an object for when you create an object with C2, again for this C2 name object gets memory allocated, no wheels gets memory allocated. Got it, Vishnu?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I will tell you, if there, depending on our case, like every time for the same class and without any change in the values, if we are creating memory, it's a waste of memory, right? So in order to come out of that difficult, that wasting of memory or executing the same things again and again, so if there are something which were fixed, and if you are trying to create an object, why we need to always create an object for such things? Okay, so they came up with a static data member. So let me write the definition of non-static data member. It is an where memory space is created each and every time whenever each and every time when the object
Object is created.
is created. Okay, you understood the main what is instance or non-static, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. If I am going, if I am telling the same things again and again, and if you say you want me to speed it up, let me know, Vishnu. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But static data members are those where only once, whenever you create, the memory would be created only once, irrespective of number of times the object is created. Okay. So once if you say it is a static data member, only the memory would be created only once, even though you create many times. Okay. So let me put it there. Whose memory would be memory space is created only once. When class is okay. So whenever you create, means it is nothing but whenever you load the class, I told you, right, whenever you place the class, in the load time itself static data members gets their memory created. Okay, it is not like whenever you create an object, the memory is created whenever you place the class, and whenever you compile it, or whenever you have it, whenever you execute it, first, whenever it sees a static keyword before that, it creates the memory. Okay.
Okay.
For this, no static keyword would be there. Okay. No static keyword is preceded. Preceded. Okay. Is preceded. But here static keyword is must. Right? Until and unless you have it, we cannot say this is we cannot say it's an static. So syntax would be normally like data type space v1 comma v2 so on, something like that. But in this case, data static data type space v1 comma v2 comma v3 so on. Okay.
Okay.
Go to insert. Okay. 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 The accessing of this data member is only possible with 1 second, Vishnu, 1 second.
Yeah.
Vishnu, the accessing of these data members is only possible with the object. Okay, when means whenever the instance of an class is created, you get an object, right? Like
Yeah.
car c1 equal to new car. So you can use this variable with c1 dot v1. Got it?
Yeah.
It can be accessed with respect to object name. So let me just put it out. Object name dot object name dot instant IDM. Let's say instant data member, right? I will call it as IDM data member. Okay.
Okay.
Got it? Instant data member name. Here the in case of static data member, let's say SDM. In case of static data member, there is nothing like you should only call with object. Okay, you can call with even class name. Best way they suggest is use class name and call it. Okay,
Okay.
can access can ACC the class name. Okay, so when we say can access with a class name, for suppose if my class name is car dot v1 or the how to enter. Okay, let's say car is my class name. Car dot as per the older example, number of wheels, right? Wheels. I can use it such a way. So it is like class name. I can put it in this way. Class name dot static data member name. Okay, I can call it in this way. Anyway, I will show you this example how we gonna do it. Okay.
Okay.
IDMs are never shareable. Okay, means never shareable means once if you create, it would be only for those class. Okay, you cannot share it. Okay. But when it comes to SDMs, these are shareable because these can be used at many levels. IDM values. I will just show you how we call this. SDM values are shareable. Now let me insert one more. IDMs can also be called as is also called as object level. Why we call it as an object level? Because we qualify this with an object name, right? So we call them as object level data members, where static data members are called as class level data members. Got it, Vishnu?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me put it. Let me show you in an example. Okay, I already showed you, but let me make you clear. If you see here, in earlier example, what we did, we called here int state tax equal to 200, right?
Yes.
So I made it static. Because I made it static, I never passed it into any method. If I call it directly, I got the value 200 here. If you remember, in this case also, here I have static 200. I never passed it into this method. I just directly use it. So 200, every time it used to minus 200. It used to compute subtracting 200 value. Got it?
Yeah.
But in case, for suppose, if let me show you in this case, where car. One second, I'm just checking for a class without. Okay, let me put some example here. Let us say my method name is void, returns void, and name is what name we want to give, creation. This method does what does it? It does it creates a car. Okay, so when I say now number of wheels, let me print sys out. Control space gives me, oh, my system is very slow today. Okay, system.out.println number of wheels. What? Okay. Number of wheels. And if I run this, wait, it's very slow. Okay, before this, let me tell you one more example. There is a rule called why I added static here is like, if you see this variable, why I added static here is like, in a static method, you should only be able to call static data members. So if you are not placing static, it will show you an compile time error. Got it? Static members will only call an static method. So if I am not placing static on the top, it shows me cannot make static reference to a non-static fields.
Yeah.
Got it? So here I placed static earlier. This is the case where we faced. This is the issue where we faced earlier. So I used to create always static. So if I start a program with static, always I would use static here. But if I create a class without static, if I am not using any static, then it's fine. Because if I call this as a static, I should make sure that whatever the methods that I call internally in this method, again the data members also should be static. For this class, because there is no static keyword being called, so that all others are static. So in this case, there is nothing like always memory is only created once. Okay, the better way when we use static is also like, I have created a class and I made it with static and I have initialized the value. And if I use this class somewhere with some other object, then whatever the value that I initiated with will be always fixed, because I initiated it and it was always static. So the value can be used at that go. The problem we face with static is like, we should always try to use less static keywords, because the objects are created with them. If lot of programs are executing, the values are always stored with them. These values, even though they manipulate, they decrease and increase, because static variables are always once created and they can be manipulated again. If the same class is executed with two different threads, okay, the value of this static value which was changed may be used by another thread, because the memory is always same, right? When it comes to object, when for every object the memory gets created, so the value gets updated every time into the memory. But in static, once the first thread created its object, okay, the value was in it. First thread created the used the class, the value was in the heap memory. Then the second class tried to use it. There is a chances that if the first value that was updated is modified by some other thread, then we get the modified value from the memory. Got it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it clear, Vishnu, or should I explain you within a diagram so it will make you much clear?
Yes.
Okay. So let me say I created one variable called int x. Okay. Int x. And let me say there is one more variable called, I used a class. This variable was in a class, let's say class car, with an object. Let's say it's a class car, and there is a variable called static int z, and this is in a class called BMW. Okay, just for its name's sake, just don't consider okay car is something related to BMW or something. Okay, for suppose I created an object for a car C1 equal to new car of, right? So if I create in such a way, how can I use this? Whenever I create an object, there would be a memory allocated to this int, right? Int x. So how will that
Yes.
memory be? It will be like there will be a small memory space allocated with the value of int. Let us say the value of int is 10 here. Okay, let's say the value of int is 10. So for an x variable, 10 value will be into this memory, and this will be x, right? So whenever C1 gets created, x would be 10. So if I say C1 dot, if I say C1 dot x, what value I will get? I will get all 10, right? Got it?
Yeah.
So in some cases, if I manipulate this value in the same code, if I manipulate x equal to x plus 10, what will the value of x be? It will be updated to 20,
20.
right?
Yes.
For suppose if I create the car with C2 and if I write new car of, okay, even though this is allocated here, because this is again created, a memory would be again created here, again created for x with 10, even though we differentiate this x and this x with C1 and C2, so they would take correct memory and show you always the computed value, because how we differentiate these values with C1 and C2, right? How we know
Yeah.
this x we call with C1 and this x we call with C2, right? And the memories
Yeah.
would always be different because we are referring with a different object.
Yeah.
Got it, Vishnu?
Yes.
So when we say C1 and X and when we say C2X, there is a difference, right?
Yeah.
So always the values will be whatever the values they have. But in case of BMW, let's say it's an static, okay, and it has a value called Z. Z has a value of 10. Z has a value of 10. So my code is executing and doing a lot of manipulations and updating value to 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. So this code, what it does is it updates in this method. There is a method which does a lot of stuff internally. Okay, what this method stuff is, it uses this Z and updates the value of Z to 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 40, 30 to 40, and 40 to 50. Okay, so the memory here gets updated again and again, right?
Yeah.
When we run this class, first initially Z value is 10, but when my code executes, there is a process. Like I wrote some code such a way that the z value gets increased again and again. For example, I increase the z plus z equal to z plus 10. I do this process again and again. So what happens? 10 will become 20, 20 will become 30, 30 will become 40, 40 will become 50. So the z value goes on increased, and this is always same. For suppose some other person who is using the same BMW class is executing it in the same server, and he is trying to execute it. Okay, so when he is trying to execute it, what did I say about static? Static won't create the object again for the, it won't create memory for int z, right? So
Yes.
when both programs are executing at same time, Z has already got a memory. So the class, when he's trying to use the same class and he's using it, because Z is already existed, it would try to use the Z. So initially Z should start with 10, but because Z is already initiated and it is present in the memory, so for him Z may start with whatever the value it is being computed. For example, the Z value is 20, 30 or 50, so he may take initial value as 50, because we are, it's a static only will create the object at one instant, but here the objects would be different. This same thing would be there here as like this. Let me just, this, oh, sorry, how to copy. See, think that this same piece is also there here. So because we are referring with an object, C1x is always different, C2x is always different. But when it comes to BMW, Z is always same for different threads. Got it?
Yeah.
Vishnu, are you clear on this?
Yeah, little bit.
No, because I don't see confident in your voice.
I'm a little confused.
Okay, little confused. Okay, let me give a last attempt once again. Did you understand regarding classes and object?
Yeah.
So first thing, if I am running a car, okay, whenever I run a car, how will I call the variable of a car? With the object of a car, right? C1.x.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
when I call with C1.x, for suppose in the car there is one more method which increases the value of x. This also what it does is x value gets increased always with x equal to x plus 10. Okay. Here also there is one method. This is what I say blah blah blah, where z value always increases internally with z equal to z plus 10. Okay.
Okay.
Forget about BMW, just remember about a car, because this is not a static. How will you use this variable x? We should always use with object of
Object.
x of C1, right? C1 dot
Yes.
x we should use, right? Whenever you
Yeah.
create an object would be always referenced with C object. Sorry, the variable would be always referenced with C1. C1 is an object of that class. So in this case, if x is increasing from, okay, let me put it in a different way, because diagram ways I am not able to show you, but let me put it here. Let us say my car is this and its object is C1. Okay, and the initial value of x is always 10. For suppose someone executed this car with an object C1, so what the method does is it increases the value with 10 to 20, means 10 plus 10, it would be 20. Again 20 plus 10, it would be 30. Some process is going on. In a method I wrote, please increase the value of x with 10 always. Go on increasing it. Okay. Uh, Initially I initiated the value with 10, and the method internally, let's say the method is called creation in a car.
Okay.
What it does is there is a, how you add x equal to a plus b. In the method, always x value gets increased with 10, 20, 10 plus 10 plus 10, like x plus 10, x plus 10, x plus 10. So the value is always being increased with 120. So whenever the value is being increased, let us say this is the memory that was allocated for x. This shell. Let me put it. Let it take time. Don't worry. Just try to understand it. If any doubts, ask me again and again. That's not a problem. Okay. So this is the memory. Let me make it with a red. background as yellow, making you understand that it is a memory. When I say x equal to 10 here, it means the initially the variable of x in a car class is initiated with 10. That what you saw in the diagram here.
Okay.
Or let me put it in the program way. Let us say this is my class and there is no static here, like employee. Oh no, not employee. Where is that car? Okay, let me say this. There is no static here, and let us say this is an X. No wheels is be an X. No wheels is with 4. Okay, no wheels is with 4. So what does that mean? Okay, no wheels is with 4 means the initial value of no wheels is 4. Same way, what I am saying is in the Excel sheet, my car is having an X variable int X equal to 10. Okay, and there is a method called creation where I wrote a for loop where it always increases the value of X with 10. It's a for loop, it goes on increasing. So what I try to do is, first initially when the car is there and it is there, I created an object called C1. Okay, once I create an object called C1, what happens? X get allocated with 10, right?
Yeah.
So okay, I am happy. I created an object and I am now I will try to run the creation method. Spelling, just don't consider I'm writing it as a whatever I wrote there. I started calling creation method. Immediately when I started creation method, what functionality is there in the creation method is x equal to x plus 10. Okay, this is the functionality that is there, and it is in a for loop. For loop means the program gets executed n number of times again and again. Okay, this value gets increasing. So initially, let us say it is in the first loop. Immediately when we say first loop, what value does my x have? 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. X will have 20 now. So my memory will be allocated with 20. So again for loop. So 20 plus x plus 10 is 20 plus 10. So it is 30, right?
Yes.
And again my for loop is 30 plus 10, it is 40. This is what I'm trying to make you understand. So the creation method is updating the value because it has a for loop, making it increase the value with x equal to x plus 10. So slowly my memory first will have 10, next will have 20, next will have 30. Let us say my for loop is there for 17 times. So last value would be x equal to 170. Got it?
Okay.
Let us keep it this way. Okay, so and what I did is suddenly I called c1.x in between when my code is running at line at iteration 8. What value do I get at c1.x? If I call object c1.x, what value would I get at it when the code is executing at line number 14? Means at the loop of 8th iteration, if I call c1.x, what value do I get?
80.
80. Yes, that is what. If I call at line number 16, means iteration 10, what value do I get?
100.
100. Okay, this you understood this, right? Same way, let us say there is the same method. Someone else created an object called C2. Okay, when someone has created an object called C2, they executed. There will be again a memory created for C2 with x equal to 10 because initial value of x is 10, right?
Yeah.
Got it, Vishnu?
Yes.
This process is still going on. Let us say this process is still going on because they started now, and even someone started with the C2 calling a object with C2. There also memory got created, and the same process now they called C2 dot creation. Okay, so they call C2 dot creation. So what happens? My x will value also starts increasing, right?
Yeah.
Starts increasing. For suppose at the point when x for the C1 method x is 80, my x will be 10 or 80. This C2 x will be 10 or 80.
10.
10. Why? Because The memory created for this X is different and memory created for this X is different. It depends on the objects. Both objects has different memory. So the value for X's are different depending on their objects. Got it? So when this is 40, this would be still 10. When this is 80, this would increase with whatever the value this X has. It will be 20. Got it? And
Yeah.
when this value gets increased with 40 plus 10, it will be 50. This value will increase with 20 plus 10 as 30. But it won't take 50 plus 10.
Yeah.
Because their objects are different. Objects is nothing but instances. Okay, instances is creation of memory. You understood why we call this as an object? According to the definition, now you understood, right, how the process is going on?
Yeah.
Okay. Same way, let us say my car is now, in this car, I have a static X. Static X. Okay, forget about C1 and C2 now. C1, C2, forget about C2. Okay. Let's forget about C2. Same way, I have a variable called static X and I have a creation method and I created an object for this class and I called the method C1.creation. Okay. Because X is a static, here we do not call with object.x, we call with car.x, right?
Yeah.
And car will be always with 10 first initially. When create, we call the create, this value gets increased with 20, again 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, like that this value gets increased. Or suppose someone used the same car, okay, someone used the same car, okay, and they started using it. Same car means they let me not say this as an object they created. Okay, for now you think it as an object they created, but they created some object C2. But this being static, will it create one more memory?
No.
Vishnu?
Static, in static there will be no object. Only class will be
For
there, right?
static object, okay, I know you will ask this question. So, but don't forget, there will not be an object for static variables, but for classes, you can create static, you can create objects, right?
Yeah.
So for this static, you will not use an object reference, but you will use a class reference. But for this car, okay, let me put it in another way. It means some other way means what I mean to say is, uh, uh, I called this class and tried to use this, and it is getting replicated. So when I say what is the main definition of a static, let's see here. Static, whose memory space is created only once when the class is loaded. The main memory, irrespective of number of objects, is being created, right?
Yeah.
So X value memory is being created once. Even though you create an object for car C2, will it go and create a memory for X or will it use the same memory?
Usually
Huh?
create another memory.
No. It will use the same memory because that is the definition of static. What is static? Whose memory space is created only once when the class is loaded. When class loads, it gets created in the main memory, irrespective of number of objects being created. Even though you create 10 objects, let us say I call C2, C3 or C4, all this will refer to the same memory because this is static.
Okay.
Okay, again, if there is C4, it will also refer same. Now you understood the problem. For suppose
Yeah.
I started with car C1 and I created the memory and it is at the middle of point of 60, means sixth iteration of if. And if I create C1 and if I get the value called car.x in this class, in this object, car.x, what value do I get? Do I get 10? No, I will get whatever memory is there at that time. It won't take the initial value because already the memory for this has been created. Got it?
It will take the initial value.
Huh?
It will take the initial value, right?
it will take the 60 value in this C2. If you print
Yeah.
it here, because this value was already there, this value will come here and it will show you 60 here. Because
And
this
in
was
C3
already
also.
created and it is being updated by some other program, this memory.
Yeah.
For suppose it is 60 and immediately this got increased with 70. Okay, means the memory here will be increased with 70. So when it comes to the next iteration, it won't become 70 here, it will become 80. Because already the memory is here 70, so it will increase with 70 plus 10, 80. Got it?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
so that is the problem with static. You won't observe it when you write one code and you execute one. You will find such issues when same class is being used by many threads and they are running on static memories. I faced this issue in Sony after it went into production. Okay.
Okay.
Normally how we use is static. Okay, I created static, let's use it. But this is the problem that we see in real time when many threads runs, many classes, many threads means with using one class, uh, different programs gets executed. That means different instances gets executed on the same class. At that time, what happens if the memory is already created? The second instance will use the all already created memory. I will tell you an example. What issue I faced? We created a variable called static string. Okay,
Okay.
and in this string, what we do is, why we create a static string is, this string, we always append the file names with comma separated. Okay. For example, if I say a file name a1.txt, comma a2.txt, comma a3.txt. We append the file names according to whatever the values we get. So we append the value. So next, if we get some file name called some other, we add comma and we append it. Okay. And
Okay.
we didn't observe it properly and we made it static. What happened is, it in development, in UAT, in PET, we never saw an issue that uh, the same values, even though these values for one process, the values are correct, the second process used these values and created a wrong content.
So instead of static, we have to use non-static or what?
Yes, yes, that is. So that is what I'm saying. Until unless it is much needed, you should always try to prevent, you should always try to use non-static variables than using static variables. Okay. The use of
Okay.
static is something different, where you should make sure that your process, you should think on the process and how those processes are being used, and then use the static variables. Okay.
Okay.
Now, you will understand it when you work on them and when you know. But try to
Yeah.
avoid as much as possible using static. So if you see here, we always use non-static, but only in the case when you start public static void main, and if you want some variables with the fixed value initially, at that place we go with this. We create
Okay.
static variables. In that case, you should make sure if you use create a new class, use these variables there, or use some getter setter method, use the variables there, create an object and use it. Because you started a program, don't think that I am writing second class, so why to write one more class extra? It will be an headache. Even though it's an one step effort, it's a best way than using in the same class. Got it?
Yeah.
Uh, why I'm saying is, the question you asked on the day before yesterday class is, Ravi, you have computed a value x equal to a plus b. Why you did it in so long, creating a different method? Why did you use it? For doing a problem, we can do it in many ways. Okay, it is not like we should do only in this way. Simplest way is adding it x equal to c plus a plus b. But what I did is, I made x equal to a plus b functionality into a new method. Okay, in order to make sure you understand how to use methods. Okay, That is the case why I explained you in that way. Here, this is the case where there may be issues, okay, using static. So in that case, you should also think, okay, this functionality I am doing it, I should not use the static variables. I should try to avoid it. How can I avoid the static variables? You should think that way and write the programs. When you think in that way, then your code will be much more efficient. Got it?
Yeah.
You will learn it because I am telling you my experience now. You may think how you will know. You will know it when you write more programs. Don't worry about it. You will know it. But this is the scenario what I faced after 2 to 3 years in the development. Then I noticed it. Uh, Even though I know we should not use static we should try to avoid using static unknowingly because of some tension in project to complete the task. We write it right. Sometimes we do things without keeping our keen interest. We write, we see whether we are getting output or not, and we go. But when it went to production, any threads executes there, and one process gets executed by many threads. Many processes executes, and all came and heap memory static. The same value was used at every place. Same, all the workflows used the same values. So instead of getting one output for one thread, we got corrupted outputs.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. That is the importance of static at variable level and at a data members. Okay, difference between static and non-static. Tomorrow we will take care about method level, static at method level. Okay.
Okay.
Same.
Okay.
Everything is same. We use the static keyword before method instead of you see right public static void main. Sorry, public
Yeah.
static void main. Here you use static. So it is also same. I will tell you again why to hurry now. Hurry now. You can use the same thing. Okay. That's all for
Okay.
today, Vishnu.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 second. Wait. My system is very slow, even though I'm trying.